Good morning, my beloved family. Stage 3 is best described as the action or doing stage. It is the period of time when we most consciously find ourselves working for God. In fact, our faith is characterized as just that, working for God or being in God's service. Having gone through the apprenticeship period of stage 2, that is the life of discipleship, we are now ready to do it on our own, even to move on to help others or to learn on what we have discovered. In fact, this stage is a natural extension of the previous stage. Having been given to and having received so much from our association with others, the time of reciprocity has come. It is now our time to give in return. This phase is all about our serving through our gifts and talents in the ministry, taking joy in serving, taking responsibilities in your cell group, in your church, receiving recognition. We have a sense of belonging in this stage. My church, my community, and my role. The Holy Spirit gives each one of us different gifts and talents for the glory of God, as we read it in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 from verse 4 to 11. Let's see some of the characteristics of the stage 3. The first one, uniqueness in the community. Because of our gifts are unique to each one of us, each person can play a different role in the community of faith. By using them, we contribute something specific to the community in return for all that we have been given, for the nurturing we have received. On the journey of faith, we accept these as God's gift to us. We want to use these abilities ultimately to glorify God and to be fully ourselves. The second characteristics, responsibility. Frequently, the tangible form of productivity at this stage comes in the specific leadership role or in the position of responsibilities. We may have served as a member in many ministries in the past, but the time has now come to lead them, to take more responsibilities. We do notice that others are relating to us differently. They perceive us as being more confident and able to take on more. Let's see, how do we caged at stage 3. The first one, overzealous. We are so zealous and engaging in this stage. No one can be around us without hearing our story and are trying to convert them through our charismatic experience. We believe so strongly that others need what we have that we cannot rest until we are satisfied that they want it too. When we are caged at this stage, we insist on personal acceptance of and the participation in our experience, because that makes us feel successful in our faith. Weary in doing good. We work so hard at whatever we are doing as a part of our faith experience that we become weary in well-doing. We are burning out and frequently at the same time feeling unappreciated without knowing why. People did not change in the way we wanted them or at the pace that we expected. Or we feel our leadership does not result in the breakthrough that we desired from it. Next, self-centered. The more successful we are at stage 3, or the more productive we become, the more tempting it is to slip into the cage of self-centeredness, even self-worship. We feel indispensable to the group. We think no one else can do it better because of my gifts and my abilities are so well suited for this position. We are devastated if we are not chosen for obvious assignments. We enjoy the feeling of others rallying around us, because it compensates for our unconscious insecurities and balances our unacknowledged fears. Next, we feel life as performance. Life become a performance, an act, a play, a drama in which we are the leading person and all goes well. We cannot be vulnerable or look weak in front of others because we would be out of control. We are angry at God inside and very fearful of being found out. So, our facade is stronger than ever. We look almost perfect to those around us. We are frequently praised as heroes. We go back for more and more. We strive so hard to be loved for what we have done rather than for who we are. We are ultimately very, very lonely people. Let's see how can we then move from stage 3 to stage 4. First one, lose sense of certainty. This transition becomes very difficult because the certainty of stage 3 dissolve into an uncertainty and questioning at stage 4. There are several key experiences in this transition. First, we let the question come instead of denying them. Then we seek support, even though the process is quite solitary. We walk the fine line between searching our answers and resting in God for the answers. Next, experience faith or a personal crisis. This move from stage 3 to stage 4 is most likely participated by the crisis in our life or in our faith. This crisis makes many of our former truth and answers inadequate or inappropriate for the next phase in the journey. It often initiates a slow, deep, anguishing question of our faith, our relationship with God. We have no answers, just blank papers. We begin to search for ways to resolve our faith dilemmas. We feel abandoned. There may even be a time in which we sense the loss of God. God appears to have abandoned us, disappeared without a trace. Losing the certainty and reality of God, we do not yet know how to ask or where to turn in the darkness. We feel overwhelmed. This is clearly the most alarming place of all the journey. While the doubts or crises are there, we frequently feel as though God is not there with us when we need Him most. Next one, the look for direction. Our faith, our relationship with God must change before it can be remolded. This is a natural, although frightening for most of us, because it rocks some of our foundations that we have been rallying upon maybe since childhood. In the transition to stage 4, we can be assisted by many fellow pilgrims on the journey. People who are experiencing what we are or who already have and are not afraid of the doubts and the uncertainties of the next stage. Now, this is a good place to reiterate that the stages of the journey of faith are fluid and they are not so clearly defined in real life as I have said them before you. We move back and forth day to day, and maybe in all the 3 stages we have described simultaneously. But there may be in the stages mentioned, that is the 3 stages we have seen, one that seems fit best and most realistically for you now. At this point in your life, one that keep returning to its closeness to your heart. Keep that stage in mind as we continue to describe the rest of the journey. This book says 85% of the Christians are in this stage. So if you identify yourself in this stage, then I want you to look deep inside and see if you are progressing or caged at this stage. Next time, we'll see one of the most challenging stage of our life of faith, the wall. Stay tuned and have a blessed day ahead.